Hello again. Last year's general election in Britain saw half a dozen Muslims elected as MPs, not with policies relating to the constituencies for which they were standing, but rather for their views on Middle Eastern affairs. This was disturbing, but now three-quarters of a million people have signified their interest in a new party which will also be focused on Muslim interests abroad, rather than the situation in this country. Zarah Sultana, a devout Muslim and independent MP for Coventry South, announced a couple of months ago that she was starting a new party together with left-wing MP Jeremy Corbyn. This surprised Corbyn and was a deliberate attempt to use his name while allowing Sultana herself to become the de facto head of the new party. She has now, before the party even has a name, denounced Corbyn for signing up to a particular definition of anti-Semitism. It is clear that she regards herself as the important figure in the new venture. She also announced recently that she is an anti-Zionist, which has provoked an outpouring of support and appreciation from many people. She is, in other words, defining herself, and by implication the new party, as being fundamentally more concerned with Middle Eastern politics than it is with those in Britain. This is very worrying. There are already a number of Muslim MPs who are similarly more devoted to Islam and Middle Eastern affairs than they are British politics. There are the four men, for example, who joined Jeremy Corbyn in the so-called Independent Alliance. It is fairly clear that Corbyn is a useful idiot to these people, an ageing white left-winger who is likely to bring to them many votes in the form of young and idealistic young white voters who are very to the left politically, but also enthusiastic about the idea of anti-Zionism and Palestine. Since, as I say, three-quarters of a million people have already emailed to express interest in the new party, that is an awful lot of votes potentially for a party which will really be a front for Islamism in this country and focusing on Muslim interests, both here and abroad, instead of the political situation for us all in Britain. That more people do not seem to have noticed what is going on here is a little surprising, except that Palestine has become such a big and very fashionable cause now that it has tended to obscure the stark Islamist agenda for which people like Zarah Sultana are clearly working. Fears of being seen as Islamophobic also discourage people from noticing or talking about what is happening. Muslim MPs are very quick to denounce those who criticise them as Islamophobic or racist, you see. What is very obvious is that once the new party, which Zarah Sultana is going to be heading, actually gets off the ground, a lot of its members and supporters will find themselves mixed up in an enterprise which espouses conservative Muslim values rather than being a progressive left-wing movement. Serves them right, is all I can say.